Tonight, we're joined by Pratz. He's a partner at the Elections Group, where he consults with state and local election officials. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So legislatures in Florida, Georgia, and Michigan have all approved these bills. These proposals limit who can deliver ballots at drop boxes, and they include details on where those boxes can be placed. How will this affect voters, especially in minority communities? And also, what's the justification for limiting water and food near polling places?
Yeah, there's really no justification for limiting water and food. It's a pretty childish attempt to react to the election of last year. The hardest thing for voters is confusion. They come to expect a certain level of service, and when they get frustrated, they don't look to their state capitals, they don't look to Washington, D.C., they turn to their local election officials, the folks that they trust. And when service is disrupted or different, that's where the frustration ends up lying. So it puts election officials in a really tough position trying to serve their voters.
So many Republican-led states want voter ID and signature requirements. What are the arguments both for and against this move?
Well, look, I think everybody around the country recognizes that it's important to authenticate a voter when they show up. Signature comparisons work really well. Many states analyze signatures, and when you spend a little bit of time comparing one signature to the one on file, it's pretty easy to tell whether that's a voter or not. So that's important. Voter ID equally is a way to authenticate a voter. The bright line is whether or not voters will be disenfranchised because they lack some sort of ID. And I think many states, even those with voter ID laws, have fail-safes so that, for example, if you don't have a driver's license, you can provide another form of ID, or you could provide an affidavit and vote. And the key is to let every voter vote.
And this plays in, of course, the narrative that there was widespread voter fraud in the last election. As someone who's an expert in this field, is there widespread voter fraud in elections in the United States?
There is not widespread voter fraud, and it's unfortunate that most of the legislation we're seeing right now is a reaction to the big lie of 2020. Nevertheless, fraud does occur. It's rare. My experience was it happened more often in really local elections where the return on a fraudulent vote is higher. And you saw campaigns getting involved in bad activities down in North Carolina in 2018. So these things do happen. The key is to not overreact, to not punish one set of voters over another when you're trying to make sure that there's integrity in the system. And unfortunately, most of what we're seeing right now is predicated on the lie of 2020.
And so while these states are taking these actions, the federal government is considering legislation designed to expand voting access. How do you see all of this playing out legally?
Sure. HR 1, S1 has a lot of great things inside of it. The critique I would have is simply that election officials weren't at the table when the legislation was crafted. At the end of the day, they're the ones that need to implement this. Secretaries of state often get involved in policy and play politics with elections. Local election officials, the county clerk, and every one of the counties around the country are the ones that are providing the polling places, counting the ballots, training the judges. They're the ones that have to make this law work. And so the time frame was a little bit tight. It's tough. If you misadminister something, if you do it poorly, that's when lines build. That can be more impactful on things like turnout and voter participation than the actual laws themselves.
And you work with election administrators. Do they welcome these changes as making things more fair and restoring confidence to the voting system, or do they see these changes as potential obstacles to running fair elections?
Yeah, well, it depends where you are and who the election official is. I mean, election officials come from the community. They range the political spectrum. They tend to be closer to the center, so they acknowledge that there is some cheating here and there. They acknowledge that there are unfair barriers put up. They want to serve their voters. They want everybody to be able to vote. So change is frustrating for them. I don't think that any of them want to see barriers in the way of voters. They want it to be as easy as possible. They also want to make sure that there are some guardrails to prevent bad activity, not necessarily on the part of voters, but on the part of candidates and campaigns.
Noah Pratz, we appreciate your time today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.